Hey guys, Trip here, and I'm pretty much not going to be speaking too loud in this video because I have my wife asleep on the couch only a few meters away from where I am right now. But I thought I'd make a video on our snake Maya. Well, we've recently moved her into this terrarium and she's seemed to have sniffed her way all around and found out exactly where she's comfortable. And the two places that she likes to, or three places that she likes to be the most, I have found, is number one, right where she is now. Number two is down in the temple over there, which is a hideout. And number three is up on that little porch that houses the light up there. I guess she does that because it's three places that are warm in the terrarium. If I can show you around the terrarium just a little bit, where she is right now is right on top of one of the heating mats. It sort of pretty much keeps that platform warm. It doesn't get too hot up there. I think the maximum temperature of that platform, because it's a really small heating mat and then a piece of glass that's silicone down and sealed off and then grouted over, I think if I lay a thermometer on top of there and then close it up with something so that it keeps the heat down, sort of more or less to replicate the snake's body on top of it, because we generally know that once you put something on top of a heating mat or a heating surface, the place that's covered does get a lot hotter than the place that's open and cooled by the surrounding air. The temperature over there, if she lays on it, gets to about 28 degrees Celsius at maximum. And then down in her hide, which is the temple over there, I pretty much have that temple stuck down there with some Velcro. The reason why it's stuck down there with some Velcro is because she shits in there, and I had it glued down and it's pretty much impossible to get in there to clean it out, so it's stuck down there with some Velcro now, so I can just pull it out and clean in there when she decides to shit in there. She has eaten recently. She's just consumed 2 rats. I've got a video on that and I'll upload that video as well. While I was making that video, the cell phone battery died and sort of cut it off at a point, so I thought I'd make another one just roughly explaining how we went about putting this terrarium together. The first thing to note is we did install a bit of technology into this terrarium, and I didn't want the switches to be outside, so I mounted them in that platform above the light, sort of right over there. What we did was we put a series of single wire switches in there, sort of made indentations in the foam, and then we pumped it full of silicone to insulate it, and pretty much ran the wiring behind, sort of along the air vent, so that it doesn't get affected by the humidity of the terrarium on that side over there. And pretty much all the electrical wiring is done and run behind the foam, or sort of down this line over here, and it is all completely sealed off with silicone, so absolutely no moisture is going to get to any of the connections or the wires. We did use electrical joiners for the wiring, and I completely embedded those in one big ball of silicone as well, so that none of the humidity would cause a short circuit or anything like that. Most of the electrical connections are behind the thermostat that's mounted in that piece of foam over there, and it is sort of against an air vent so that it can keep dry, just in case. Better safe than sorry. You see the 2 lights that's in there. Pretty much when those go off, you don't really see them because they're behind the grouting. And then there's that little knob over there, which I didn't really mount the best way, but I guess it's the only way that I could do it with the parts that I had. And pretty much the first switch on the platform is a switch for this waterfall over here. Not much water is coming out there. I mean, we used a really small pump, and Pretty much the waterfall is just there to keep the water moving, so we got a little bit of humidity in the terrarium. It is a pretty big terrarium. I'm not so sure if you can catch the entirety of it in the video, but it is pretty big, so we needed something to help with the humidity, and we figured we'd put a little pump in there and have some water run over the grouting. The second switch is the light switch, and then the 2 round LED lights. Pretty much one mounted in there, and another in there. And that runs off the second switch. And then the third and the fourth switch is for the heating mat that's on that platform over there. And the heating mat that is inside the temple. And as we can see, Maya is a bit busy. She's probably going to go climbing, or she'll drink some water off the waterfall. Let's see what she does. She smells it. She's not interested. Oh, we'll see. I'm not so sure. She's got absolutely no problem getting right into the water. She really doesn't mind. She's got fresh drinking water and a place to bathe in the pool down here. I pretty much keep this pool really clean. As you can see, the water is really clean. Mind the spots on the bottom. That is some grouting that is dropped into the water and hardened in there. And that's Maya exploring the waterfall. She is a very curious snake. She will climb on these bricks and go and sit up there probably. That's one of her spots, if she's not down here. We've pretty much got a thermostat that's on the digital display there, because as you can see that the actual controller doesn't come with a thermostat that sort of displays the temperature. So I installed this little one over here, which is generally used for aquariums, I think. And in the hide at the moment it is 32.8 degrees Celsius. And then we've just got another mechanical one over there, which displays the temperature, or the ambient temperature of the terrarium. And I guess I've woken my wife up because I've just heard her gone to the toilet. So yeah, me and my wife built this terrarium. We pretty much got the casing, and as you can see there's a crack in it over there, and that was my fault. We pretty much got a empty shell, and we pulled it apart and pretty much took 60 cents foam, and we completely padded the inside of the terrarium. As you can see, I've still got to trim that off. And then we got foam that was a little bit thicker, and we cut the bricks with that foam. We used 5 centimeter foam and 3 centimeter foam to make these bricks. And then we also cut the sun out over here. We had a friend of ours draw the picture onto it, and then I used a solder to sort of melt the foam out, and then my wife Andy painted it. And we did exactly the same with the waterfall over there. Can't really say much more about that. Yeah, all the carving of all the brickwork was done by my wife Andy. I guess she had the patience for this. She pretty much carved every brick and painted the sun. And yeah, I pretty much mapped it out, and she pretty much carved it out, and then the both of us sort of put it together after I had done the electrical work. So yeah, that's our snake Maya, and that's going to be her home until I feel that she's outgrown it. The surface area is probably too small for her already, but I'm not too bothered by that because she does get handled pretty often, so she gets the relevant exercise she needs. I don't think it has got an A rating for safety when she's climbing, but there's not really much I can do about that. This terrarium is what fits into our budget, so we try and make the best of it. However, we don't really see her move around much. It is early morning, so she's just gonna chill out where she is probably. If not, she'll go up there and she'll curl up or coil up and sit on top of the light. But I guess she only does that once that platform has gotten really warm. I don't think she's going to go into the hide, even though she has eaten. I think she's probably just going to hang out over here. We tried to make a little garden, but she destroys that. And after she warms up on the platform over there, or in the hide, she's going to come out and lay in the water for a little while. Or at least that's what I'm hoping she does. But yeah, that's the video on my snake Maya. And she's a Red Tail Boa Constrictor. She is 2 years old and about 1.58 meters long. I'm not so sure what that is in feet. I guess majority of the world except America uses the metric system, so I'm not even going to bother to calculate that in feet. As we can see, you're not going to be able to see it on the camera, but I can tell you that the ambient temperature is 20 degrees. And I guess it's not going to drop any lower than that. But yeah, that's Maya in the terrarium that we put together. And I hope she's happy in here. I really do. If you guys know anything about red tail boas and you see anything wrong with the terrarium or the setup, please feel free to leave your criticism in the comment section. I would appreciate it. I do tend to like negative criticism, but it's got to be constructive negative criticism, not bashing. I pretty much don't listen to bashing, I just ignore it. But if there's any negative criticism and it's constructive, I generally do take it, and I do take it to heart and make the improvements, provided there's the necessary evidence that permits it. But that's our snake Maya in the terrarium that we've made out for her. I think it's really pretty. We've kitted it out nicely. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll try and make more videos of her at a later stage. We're going to move to a new house soon. Well, it's not really a house, this is a house. We're going to be moving to an apartment because our lease is up over here. And pretty much we live in Slovenia, and this is sort of bled, and there's really not much available when it comes to leasing. And the properties that are for sale are, in my opinion, just horribly overpriced. So we're going to be moving to an apartment for a few months, just so that we can look around and find what's best for us. So yeah, that's my video on Maya. She's a really pretty snake, isn't she? I mean, she's really cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you some other time. Cheers.